The same thinking that got you here is not the same thinking that will get you to where you want to go. One of my mentors said, the thinking, the habits that got you out of Egypt are not the same habits that are going to take you to the promised land.
Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Wow. You hear that one? Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional.
Being the observer of your thoughts, it's like control your thoughts. I mean, it sounds really good, but it's tough. I work on it every day. But it's also the greatest gift in the entire world we could give ourselves. What's standing between you and your next level? Yes, last night the lady asked, I forget her name, I'm sorry. What question should you ask? What's standing between you and where you want to go is always the story between it. Your next level, there's only a story between you. There's no physical guard, there's no guns, there's no blockade. It's what's going on in here. And when you can understand that your thoughts can make you have a great day or a bad day, when you understand that your thoughts are things and they're not true, in most cases your thoughts lie to you. I literally had this conversation with my dad about a month ago. I said, have your thoughts ever lied to you? He's like, I don't think so. I said, no. I said, ever in your life think someone you were dating didn't like you anymore, or they were actually talking to someone else, and it wasn't true? He's like, oh yeah, I remember this story. Did you ever think a friend cheated you or ignored you or didn't call you to go to the movies and you got upset and got worked up and then it wasn't true? Yeah, and I named like 10 things. He's like, yeah, your thoughts lie to you. I said, of course they do, over and over again, but you could step back and check that thought and just make it a habit. I am not perfect at this, but I obsess on it every day. When I'm in a good mood, I want to observe what I'm thinking so I can have more of that. When I'm worried, stressed, or a little anxious, I want to know what those thoughts are. What makes me anxious? When I feel like I have everything I ever wanted, why am I anxious today? And I'll look and go, holy crap, that thought's been hanging around since I was 14. That one's got to go. So I want to give you a little story. It's the greatest gift that you could give your family, yourself, and your company. For the next week, obsess on everything that you do after the fact and observe what your thinking was to actually make it happen. And I want to simplify it. Again, I always want to tell you, I'd love to give you all these things and say, you can go do them all and life's perfect. I understand you're busy, you got life, you got a million different influences. So I want to give you the things that you could just plop in and not make a big deal out of it. Just observe your thinking. Good mood, just step back. Say, why am I in a good mood? Bad mood, step back and just look at the thought. I want to give you an example because I've been obsessed on this mostly the last 18 months. Kind of obsessed for 5 years, obsessively 18 months, last 6 months, ridiculously obsessed. So I'm at breakfast with my kids, and my son has this crazy memory. So he's got these crayons, a box of like 40 crayons, and they're not like red, blue, and pink, they're like lime green, tequila gold. Like they're all these exotic names, right? And he's loving these crayons, and he pulls one out, and he goes, Dad, look at this color. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Is that green? He goes, no, it's lime, exotic, tequila gold. I don't know. I'm making that shit up. But so he remembers it, and I'm like, wow, you remembered that one. And he pulls out another one. I'm like, what's that one? And I grab the box from him, and I go through this. This little guy remembered all 40 names. I couldn't remember all 40 if I studied for 6 months. So I'm like, dude, that's amazing. That's your gift. That's your unique ability. My daughter sitting there, sees all the praise he's getting, and says, I can do that. I'm like, that's not your unique ability. God gives us all unique abilities. Dad couldn't do it, but you're my inventor. You're the visionary. My son's the implementer. If they ever would like each other enough to be partners, they'll be badass. So my daughter goes in the other room. She studies. She goes, no, I got this. Pull the first one out. What do you think? She gets it wrong. And like, Bree, and she starts crying. That's not like her. She's like upset. And I'm like, baby, no. I said, you have a gift. Brody doesn't come up with the ideas you have. I'm like, so I tell her about her gifts, and she blurts out, and she says, it's because you spend more time with Brody in the morning. And I'm like, oh. So me thinking I'm doing this right, I said to her, Brianna, don't tell yourself a lie, and don't tell me a lie. I spend equal time with you two. And I go in that phase, right? And all of a sudden, she tucks it down. She goes from crying, tucks it down. She gets dressed, or she gets ready. And it's the first day she left since she was born without giving me a kiss going off to school. And I'm like, it's all right. She's learning a lesson. Until she left. And like an hour later, I'm walking around, and I do what I'm sharing with you. I observe my thinking. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like literally, just like that. I'm not kidding you. And I'm like, I just told my daughter her feelings don't matter. That's what I told her. She tried to express, whether right, wrong, or other ways, that's how she felt in that moment. And what I told her was, your feelings don't matter, tuck it down, go to school. If she gets married to a guy and does it to her, I'll kick his ass. And if he's bigger than me, I'm Italian, I'll have someone kick his ass. And all of a sudden I'm feeling this and I'm like, oh my God, I literally got in my car, I blew a couple red lights, I drove 90 miles an hour, I got to her school, because the best way to fix stuff is just fix it, right? Not think about it, because I observed this thought. Again, I'm just giving you this lesson of what it does for you, because you can observe these things like a third party. So I get to the school, and there's 2 people waiting in the line at the principal's office, so you're supposed to get the little tag and put the name thing on and sign in. Like the hell with it. I jumped the fence, and I ran across the field where they all play, right? The playground. And I'm like, imagine if a teacher sees me, there's gonna be 911, air raid. Like there's a security guard at the school who's gonna tackle me. I could care less. I literally jumped a 6-foot fence. I knock on her door, she comes out, I'm like, baby, Dad made a bad parenting decision. Your feelings matter to me. I got on my knees, I'm like, baby, your feelings matter. Whether you believe that or not, thank you. I said, whether you believe it, whether I believed you or not, whether it was true or not, it doesn't matter. That's the way you felt in the moment, and I should have acknowledged your feelings. Dad was wrong. And we talked, we hugged, we kissed. I literally left sobbing like I was like, bye, baby. Like literally sobbing. And then I was in a great mood. I had the radio cranking, I felt amazing. But it never would have happened if I wasn't the observer of my thoughts. And I'm not great at it, I'm not perfect at it, but make it a part of your life and watch how your life changes. Wherever it is you wanna go, when you have that vision, remember what's standing in your way is nothing more than a thought. And I tell people all the time, I'll say to my daughter, she's like, but I don't think it. She'll give me the story. I'm like, can you go grab me that story in the other room? Can you go grab me that thought? No, you can't grab it, it's only in here, Bree. Or Brody, it's only in here. So let's just change that thought and all of a sudden there's nothing in your way. Because it's not physical, it's in here. The law of attraction. Is it really the secret to success? And does it really work? Listen, I know for a fact that in my 20s, when I was fixing cars during the day, I was painting cars, sucking fumes, had headaches every night. I literally drove a tow truck at night while simultaneously I was getting into real estate, and the only way I could do is get no money down deals, the worst deals in town. So I'd get done working on cars at 5 or 6, eat, and then go work on houses until, I don't know, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, tired, get up, do it again. Now, during those times, I was envisioning a bigger future. I was hoping to be a millionaire someday. I was hoping to retire my mom, who worked so hard to make, she worked like 3 jobs to make $90 a week. And I envisioned me having money. I envisioned the big house. But there was a part I was missing back then. Hey, if you don't already know who I am, I'm Dean Graziosi. I'm a multiple New York Times best-selling author. My new book, Millionaire Success Habits, is on fire right now. You probably see it everywhere. I've been able to start and scale 13 different companies. My brands and my companies have done hundreds of millions of dollars in sales in like 30 years of being an entrepreneur. And I love this topic, the law of attraction, because there's so many different opinions. But in my experience, going from someone who didn't go to college, or coming from someone who didn't go to college and used to work blue collar, hard, hands dirty, which there's nothing wrong with it, and evolving to big business, doing hundreds of millions of dollars, touching the lives of people all around the world, multiple New York Times best-selling books, all those great things, I've really dialed in what I believe and I think is the truth about the law of attraction. You see, I remember when The Secret went viral, was it 8, 10, maybe even 12 years ago? I don't even remember, but The Secret went viral. It's still a strong selling book. And to manifest, to create vision boards, to envision and picture and meditate on your bigger future is an absolute must. I teach it in my book. It's a habit you must have. You must create a compelling future for yourself. If you focus on what you don't want anymore, if you focus on what your parents have, if you focus on what your friends, family, even parents or loved ones tell you you should do, or listen to the naysayers, or listen to the negative news, I'm sorry to say that's the results you'll get. What you focus on is what you get. But what happened with The Secret, it stopped there. It's not just about the vision board. It's not just about having a compelling future that pulls you towards a better, bigger version of you, towards your next level, towards living your full potential. That's all wonderful. But the part that's missing is action. Now, you're saying, oh, Dean, you're brilliant. No, I'm saying that because a lot of people do miss it. We create a vision board. We want to manifest. We focus on our bigger future, but then we go back to the same old habits we had prior. The same thinking that got you here is not the same thinking that will get you to where you want to go. One of my mentors said, the thinking, the habits that got you out of Egypt are not the same habits that are going to take you to the promised land. So, the law of attraction. It's a hot topic, books, everybody's talking about it, and it continues to go. But I want to tell you the definition of success is taking that principle, taking the law of attraction, but then how do you change your habits? How do you change your routines? And how do you stop doing the things that don't move the needle in your life, that bring you down, that cause negativity, that rob your confidence, or you just do out of a hypnotic rhythm because everybody else used to, or you hang around the negative people, or you surf online for hours and you wonder why your business isn't working. You have to quit those things, open up space, and start doing more of the things that move the needle. My buddy Tony Robbins, I love when he's on stage, he says, listen, you could sit in your garden, you could close your eyes and meditate and say, weeds don't grow, weeds don't grow, weeds don't grow. He goes, but when you open your eyes, unless you pull the weeds, they will grow. Same thing here. Manifest it, vision board, have a compelling future, but get out there and take action. And a lot of times, it's as simple as throwing away the things that don't move the needle in your life. Stop doing the shit that doesn't serve you, doesn't serve God, doesn't serve making more money. And then even one step higher, stop doing the things other people taught you are the definition of success. Stop spending months wondering what your website should look like or what color your logo should be, and start spending time on marketing and sales and understanding your avatar. Stop listening to the naysayers in your life and dig in following those who have already forged the path in front of you. Listen, there are over 1,700 new millionaires a day being created in America. Think of that number. I get so many people say to me, oh, the old days, Dean, it was easier for you to become a millionaire back in the day. No, this is the time. Social media, the internet, the world becoming smaller has literally opened up the opportunity for so many people to have the chance to be wealthy, to live to their full potential, to grab self-education, learn on your own, learn from those who are already doing it, and go faster and quicker. But it takes more than manifestation. You have to take action, and you have to change your habit.
Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Wow. You hear that one? Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Now, I want to see something. Pain is a real confidence. Learn to struggle. Learn to honor the struggle. I love it. Don't expect joy. I want to cover something. I just don't want to cover it twice. So pain is inevitable. What does that mean? Things are going to go sideways. Things may not work. The relationship could end. The business deal could fall through. But that it could be painful. Suffering is a choice. You see, pain, and this was from Brendan Burchard, pain is something we feel, all of us. Doesn't matter how much money you make. I've made all the money I could ever have dreamed of. I still feel pain on a regular basis. But I've chosen not to suffer. And the difference is pain is you want to experience it. Before, when I was talking about something failing along your goals, you didn't reach it and it fails. It's kind of painful. I thought I was going to do a deal by now. It didn't. That's a little painful. But the suffering is when you go, I can't believe I did it. And the next day, you think about your insecurities. The next day after that, you're thinking about why I didn't reach my goal. Next day after that, you're like, now I'm stuck in a life that sucks. The next day, and the next day, and 2 o'clock in the morning, and 3 in the afternoon, and lunchtimes, and all of a sudden the suffering begins. Pain is meant to teach us a lesson. Suffering cripples us. Now, I don't have time to go through a whole process on how to stop suffering, but I can give you a little hack. Change your thoughts. Change the way you think about pain. Think of the lessons you can learn from it immediately. Train your brain to extract what valuable information, what research and development is coming from the pain so you never experience it again, so you can make it better for the next time, so you can use that as your fuel to blast off to your next level of life rather than the anchor that holds you back. So let's think about that. What pain have you gone through that has turned into suffering? It's the relationship where someone's unfaithful and you end a relationship that you thought was great. That is painful. Painful. I've seen it tear people apart. I know it personally from past experiences. But suffering is 3 years down the road and still saying, can't trust a man, can't trust a woman. They only want your money. They're never going to be faithful. Come up with these shitty stories that make you suffer and cripple you and stop you from a new relationship. It's the same thing when it comes to money. It's the same thing when it comes to business. What pain have you experienced in your past that you didn't process, that you didn't learn from, and now it's just this suffering mechanism that wakes you up, keeps you thinking, is when you're alone in your thoughts, it pops up. It's like, hey, suffering here. Let's spend some time together. It's like, no, screw you. I learned from that. I'm no longer suffering. Declare today, decide today that suffering will end. Pain is a part of our life. The more pain you have, that means the bigger you're playing the game. But we don't have to suffer. You have a choice. Real confidence is your belief in your ability to figure things out. Man, that is just such a think about that. Real confidence is your belief in your ability to figure things out. You see, when does lack of confidence come in? When does insecurity come in? Think about when you don't have options. Okay? Think about that. Think about, I'm going to pick a really hard topic. Again, this is all relating back to success habits for wealth, abundance, joy, whatever you want. But think about, you go to the doctor and they say you have, not something life-threatening, but something really debilitating. You have, Crohn's disease. Pick any disease. Now, if you went home and said, I don't know what to do. I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't know what this disease means. Am I going to die from it? Can I get healthier? Can I get better? And you just didn't do anything. You didn't open a book. You didn't try to Google it. You didn't call a friend. Don't go see another doctor. You just sat home for 2 weeks thinking, what do I do? How does it get better? What food do I eat? I don't want to leave my kids. I don't want to leave my family, or I want to start a family. I don't want to leave my parents. I don't want to leave this world. There's so much still to see. Does that rob your confidence? Because you're not figuring things out. You're just obsessing over it. Compared to a doctor say you have XYZ disease, and a moment you get off the phone, you find the expert in the world. Not all the crap you see on Yahoo questions of how's this disease? You're going to die. You're going to live. Do this, do that. Drink tea. Take this. No. You find the best person in the world and you read everything on them and they say, oh, you have XYZ disease? This is what we figured out. This is the path. This is the plan. This is the hope. The person who does that because they had the ability to take the time to try to figure it out, all of a sudden you're alive. You got confidence. You're moving forward. Compared to just sitting there feeling hopeless. Where in your life do you need guidance? Do you need to grab the information? Do you need to have the belief that you could figure this out? Like, you need to anchor into your soul. If something goes wrong, I got this. If I lose all my money, I got this. The relationship ends, it'll suck. I got this. I get sick, that'll suck. I got this. When you start building that, you start building the grit, you start paying your success and life abundance tax. That's the difference of people who go, oh no, what do I do? Compared to, no, I got this. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm not joyful I have it, but damn, it ain't going to bring me down. Those are the ones who beat the disease. They're the ones that find the better relationship. They're the ones that make the money and their businesses thrive. So think about that again after I shared that. Real confidence is your belief in your ability to figure things out. Guess what? You can figure anything out. And we have access to so much information in today's world. Think of 20 years ago, what would you have done? 30 years ago, what would you have done in any area? Now we could research, dive deep, find the best, read their articles. There's so much great content published for free. And then you have the opportunity to follow people that have already forged the path.
What is reality? I mean, seriously, what is reality? I've asked that question so many times. You probably have too. If you're with me still right here, right now, you're somebody who questions everything, and we should all the time. Always question. Always know that we're wrong a lot of the times. But what's wrong? What's right? What's perception? What's reality? It can get confusing, but in this Success Academy coaching session, we're going to talk deep about perception and what's reality and what's not. I mean, think about this. Think about if two people get in the exact same car accident, right? They're driving, they're in a hurry, somebody pulls out, bam, there's a car accident, right? So what is the reality part of that? I guess the situation is there was a car accident, right? Let's call the accident the situation. One person gets out and it's like, oh my God, why would you pull out in front of me? Heart racing, stress going, adrenaline already released, amygdala hijacks the frontal lobe, anger, whose fault is it? Why did this happen? How could you do this? And they're going, oh my God, my insurance is going to go up. I don't have time. I'm going to be late. I'm going to lose my job. This is your fault. Are you an idiot? What were you thinking? All the mess that goes with that. Start thinking about the insurance going up and got to get a tow truck and what am I going to do and blah, blah, blah. And the paint's not going to match after it comes back from the collision shop. That's the situation. So what was the reality there? Same situation, car accident. Get out and you walk over and go, oh my God, are you okay? Is everything all right? And the person gets out all nervous, like, oh my God, I can't believe I pulled out. I'm so sorry. I just got fired from my job. And the person says, hey, calm down. That's what we have insurance for. It's tin. It's metal. Who gives a crap? They make insurance for those reasons. They have collision shops to fix it. And it'll get fixed. No harm, no foul. And you know what? Whatever appointments we had, they'll have to wait. Things happen. Now, which one is reality? Reality is nothing more than your perception of a situation. If you lose your job, it could be the end of your life, or it could be a new beginning. If the relationship ends, it could be the end of love, or the beginning of the chance to find real love. If you lose all your money, one is, my life's over. I have no significance. I'm embarrassed. Someone else says, hey, from the bottom, there's only one way up. So think about that. Perception, as you may have heard this before, thought through it, but not like you're going to go through with your coach in this session. We are going to anchor in the difference between perception, a situation, a reality, and how you create perceptions around situations is really the key to your next level of life. The biggest thing, you ready for this? You ready? The biggest thing standing between you and your next level of life is the story you tell yourself on why you can't achieve it. If you said, hey, I want to make more money, but I want to fix my relationship, but whatever the but is your perception of that situation. And that perception is holding you back. If we can change the story, change the perception, we get to change your life.
What's up? What's up? Hey, before you go, you need to watch these next few videos. They're absolute game changers. Hurry up and click right over here and watch them, and I'll see you there.